Hey, what's up, y'all? The power of the mighty haircut. Yeah. Hold up. My lighter. Oh, this is tough. My lighter kind of fucked up, but yeah, you can still see the blue there. So I'm just gonna have to, like, do it that way. I'm gonna get a new lighter, but yeah. I'm on my way to the gym after this. Did you know where they get potassium from? It's originally actually pot ash. It's actually ash out of that's they call that stuff pot, like. Oh god. Alright, let me get into the video. I couldn't be going out like that, bro. Like, alright. What you're gonna see here is absolute proof, right? Absolute proof that this is done by a thunderbolt and not an explosion. There's no denying it after this. Watch this. Watch this. If there was an explosion, it would have to be the most powerful directional explosion I've ever seen that was somehow aimed not only at the midsection of the Guidestone, but also it would have to aim up, as you can see right here, because the top part got blown off too. As you can tell, there's nothing really holding it on there except for its own weight. So if the Guidestone fell, it wouldn't affect that stone on top. But if there's some kind of shaped explosion going upward, it would have to be a very unique explosion because it didn't touch anything else. It didn't harm any of the other pillars. It seems like whatever hit it kind of high and then kind of towards the midpoint, and then also hit the top part and blasted off the top part like a thunderbolt. Thunderbolts go upward. They don't actually go downward, they go upward. And that's why I didn't leave any impacts on the rest of that stuff. If there was an explosion, it would have impacted all of those. It would have impacted that one to the right and the one to the left because it's a blast. It goes in all directions. Even if it was like a shaped explosive, which there wasn't any evidence of high-level explosives because it was all white. The color was white, like low-level explosives that they use in pyrotechnic type stuff. I've already explained it. But just the fact that it blew off the top like that proves that it couldn't have been an explosive without, it affect those other things. And I'm going to show you the angle it attacked from as well. Put this in absolute slow motion for you. You see, that's the angle that would have shown the explosion. But instead, we get this bullshit. See this angle? You can't see the actual impact on that side. But if they were to show us the opposite side, which is what it seems like it is right here, because right here, it's on the right side more or less, and on this one, it's on the left. See? So if they were just showing us from this view, which they didn't want to show you that, like I told you, all the people from Georgia were saying it was lightning, and one guy actually said they saw footage of it, and it was lightning, and then they changed the story later because they don't want to be like acting like God's like real. He actually hit this shit with thunder right when they're doing all this depopulation, killing millions of people. It's disgusting. And you can see it's got to be a shaped explosion. If it's any kind of explosion, as you can see how it mostly impacted in the center part. But that's also a characteristic of lightning, because you see that's impossible you don't see it hit the top part, except for it feels lightning, bro. Like, you see that? Look at that. The explosion is mostly going forward. You see that? You can see this stuff flying out all because of it. Like, this stuff flying towards us. It had to have been an impact there, and then one above to take the top part. Because, like I said, as you can tell, it's just laying on top of these things. It's just basically laying on top of it. And you can see the flash right before it happens as well. One more time. See how it lights up in this bluish? The other one lights up as well. And then the smoke is mostly white, so it wouldn't have been some kind of high level explosive. Most of that's from the granite, actually. That's pretty much from the granite. And this is weird blue backlighting, it looks like, as well. Similar to how that blue flames around when I was showing you myself on camera earlier. Like, people are talking about blue flame they're seeing all over the place. It's crazy, and it's clearly there. It changed the light there because of the presence. Like, I've already explained that in the earlier versions of this, the blue flame and all that stuff. Like, it was this thunder that was going on, really strong thunder, and it was also, since I had made that change on Twitter, this is just for people that have already seen those videos. Like, it's actually on this playlist. It's right here, these two. It started right after I started that thing with Twitter. On Twitter, that I was talking about on Twitter. Actually, let me just go to Twitter. There it is. Because I typing the other way, it won't pop up for some reason, but it pops up this way. Like, right when I did this, when I put this post up about increasing the power and all that, you know, they try to do some evil stuff or whatever, but I've already talked about that. This literally was within an hour of this, they did a shooting, and it was the one everybody heard about that day, but there were more. The same thing happened like 2 months before when I hadn't done that in a long time. They tried to drag things down too, but there was a sign in the heavens that also happened that day. I guess you could say I was just guessing it based around the sign of the heavens, but I don't know. I think it was just a coincidence, in my opinion. Because I don't usually do that type of thing. But yeah, I did try and incorporate it since I was already doing something that day. Ended up having to do it twice that day. And yeah, there were some positive things that happened too. Besides that, I mean, that's not positive to me at all. And did I go with those fireworks again? Even though it's like how many days later in the middle of the day? I can't even see the fireworks. What kind of dummy is that? So yeah, this started to light up the atmosphere. And over those past 2 days leading up to the blowing up of the Guidestones, there was a sky phenomenon going on where they call it noctilucent clouds. It's basically like a lot of energy causes the sky to glow blue. And this is why I'm telling you, it's like, that's really just the light of the sun and all this kind of stuff. And the power that I've been increasing it, that caused this other effect to happen, where it was the first time ever that they had, who's the wrong one? First time ever that they had, what was it, 99% of the planet enveloped in the sun, as you can see. Have an interesting interaction with the sun. You see how the car went right in front of it too? You know, the sun be talking to me and all that kind of stuff, and the moon is up at the same time. And then, like, you see the overexposure as I'm turning it back, it turns gold. But like the sun, it basically covered 99% of the population of the earth. with sunlight. You need to check out that video. That's because my interaction with the sun. Setting, the sun is setting, and then watch what pops up. This is just helping out the outpouring spirit of God. And you see how they try and turn it dark? That's the same thing they do in this earlier one to hide that gold that I was showing. You see? Watch out the gold and the extra planet right there next to it. Or sun. There's an extra sun right next to the sun. You'll see it like light up right there. See it? And then watch how they fade it out along with the gold above it. It's the same thing they did right here. The Skynet, that's the only thing I was mostly trying to get out of the way as a Lucas and Bottomless Pit. They were just, it's not planes that they're chemtrails, it's it's the chemtrails themselves, because they turn these orbs that they try and call Starlink, which is a cover story for them to operate against me and people and humanity, weaponized space basically. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. And then the watch how the light makes that become revealed, you see? It's all about the light, man. I can show you that right now. It's easier in the daytime. Yeah, that's why I started changing weather. That's why the sun reaches further. The first time that ever happened with the 99% of the earth being covered with, of the population covered with sunlight was the year 2020. 20 fucking 20. Like, I've been doing my thing for like 8 years, really I started in 2009, but I didn't really kick it up until 2013. That's when my ministry really began. That's when God made his home with me, like he said he'll do in Second Ezra, not Second Ezra, the Book of John, the best book you could ever read in the New Testament. It's me and my hair, a lot of hair. Is my other house, my grandmother's house, two doors up. Like, I lived with my grandma, like she was my mother, man. Like, my grandma was such a good person, man. Like, and I'm not surprised God would get revenge for a good person like that. I can tell God favors my grandmother. Yeah, you can see how they deleted 2 million views and stopped the subs. Like, you think censorship. Like, I was supposed to have a whole bunch of shit by now, bro. Like, I've talked about this a million times, but I gotta go out here and do some things after this one. But here you go with this. I haven't slowed it down halfway so you can see how things were actually playing out. The only reason I sped it up, has to be it. So the only reason I sped it up is because that UFO in the background, I wanted y'all to see. You see how things look more normal. I think it looks like it's a little slower than it actually is, but it looks pretty normal to me. See, all I had done was sped up a little bit. I didn't want to make myself look too fast. I was just trying to get y'all to see the UFO. That was an interesting thing to me. But yeah, I be changing shit, bro. Like, and they be trying to cover it up. Even like people used to look older, way younger. And I always wondered about that, like why people of my generation look so much younger than the generation before them. And the generation after us, they don't really look, to me, any younger. Like, they look pretty much the same. Like, the generation, like, before I appeared, like, really looked older. Like, I'm gonna show you that in a second. You see how I'm fast normally, bro. Like, it's not much of a difference. Like, I know y'all was like, oh, he's trying to look like Dragon Ball Z, and I was doing perfect form too. I wasn't going nearly as fast. I was working on my form. I'm Southpaw and I'm North Pole, I guess you could call it, or Orthodox. That's what I call it. Like, I can do most kicks. Like, my precision is what's really good about me, though. Like, I'm like effortless with my precision, and that's how I beat Jackie Moon DC like so badly. I didn't realize they was mad. They was mad, bro. They did me dirty. Like, all they did was keep his clips where he made shots, and they didn't show how he got busted. Like, they didn't show none of my shots busting him. I noticed that when I was watching the clips I already told y'all, all they show is a whole bunch of clips of him. Like, They don't even show his misses, how he was bricking so bad, and how I had to carry him in the 4 versus 4 game. I had to carry him. I'm gonna do some training videos again soon. I'm happy I cut my hair though. I was looking a mess, man, as y'all could tell from my earlier videos. Like, it's amazing how much a haircut can make a difference in how you appear. I need to keep cutting my hair and stop faking and shit. Like, yeah, I can run. I already know I can run faster than like 22 miles per hour and stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, sir. Oh yeah, what I came here to show you. You need to check out this video, bro. Like, I'm the real one. So funny how like, when I cut my hair, I can kind of see it a little bit, you know. Just a little bit, you know, like I'm in pretty good shape too. Like, I'm gonna be you see that blue thing right there? This thing, you know, like this thing, if you put it in any kind of light, it's gonna reflect it really good. That's why I bought it. If you've seen the video I made just like how Garo can absorb powers and stuff like that and make a power out of anything in this environment, like basing things around tigers or anything, like I can do the same thing. It's just it's similar to what the enemy does, but like it's more infinite. It's not whatchamacallit, limited in potential or anything like that. Like what they do is just like a copy. Like I told you, all they can do is copy the base one, not the enhanced one, because they lack spirit. It's all like material. Like they make it into an algorithm, not an algorithm, but like number of programs, instead of really capturing its essence like I do. And that's why it's like it's foolishness to me, you know. Like it's a difference. Like it's like a TV show to me, but you know, like but to me, even what I'm doing is like nothing compared to what God had before this world was. That was the more raw form. But I think I'm tapping into that. I think that's what it is. I don't like Gojo and Juju Hakusho. That's a play. I just can't wait to show y'all how much faster I am, man. Like I'm gonna play that same. I'm gonna show y'all that old video and I'm gonna show you my new video. Y'all gonna be like, damn, he's so much faster now, man. Like, what the hell's going on here? Well, yeah, let me show you this video though. The one that has to do with what I'm talking about. Like the 99 sunlight. This shit shouldn't have happened, bro. Like, when I told my uncle from NASA, not from NASA, but he's like the lead guy. Like he's the brains, you know. Like just like there was 3 colored women that were actually the brains of. They always try and mock us too, bro. Like they made a post on Facebook about trying to say it was this Caucasian woman that did all the calculations when it was 3 black women or colored women. Like I don't know how, you know, if they were Canaanites, aka black, or like Negroes, aka brown. Like, you know, like I wasn't sure. Like I didn't look at the movie, you know, but I know it's for sure. Like my uncle knows this shit, bro. Like he works, like I ain't gonna say the people he works with, but he works with these people, and that's why he won't accept this. When I first told him this, he was like, that's impossible. 99% of the population. Now I was like, not only did it never happen according to their science, like it's impossible in their science, and they've never even thought of it being possible, but it never actually happened in recorded history until just 2020. Like literally when I opened the stupid page, like I call it stupid because I shouldn't have had to open it. I should have stayed on my first one and had all this, like, been big by now and like been reaping all this benefit, all this goddamn work I've been putting in, instead of having to start all over and over and over. And like, then I'm so like, somebody like just looking out for me, because like I can now comment again. Look, I can actually get in the comment section, you see? I can actually moderate it. Like I'm just like I'm just like astounded. I thought I was blocked out of this forever. I'd never be able to fucking keep the comment sections just permanently open. I'm just so happy. I just, whoever did it, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I know I didn't do it. Maybe my power's just that fucking broken now. But I think they've just been impressed with what I've been posting, whoever the hell it was. And they was just like, man, this dude's actually legit. So they took it off. But that's why I tell you, man. It's like, that's one of my powers. It's like people that are like, that used to oppose me end up like following me and becoming my allies and shit. This is crazy when you can legit win people over like that. Like, it's actually happened a lot in the Bible if you pay attention to it, like Abraham winning over, you know, the captors and everything. It's just simply because of the greatness of what God did for him, you know, getting in the fire with him and all that. Oh, that's Meshach and Abednego. Yeah, I'm not really good at pronunciating their names. Those are some really technical names there. And yeah, it's actually happened a lot in the Bible now, I think. Not too much, but interesting amount of times if I think about it. The only time that I can think of that was not real was actually with Paul. Even though Paul says some true things, he, you know, a tree by its fruit, man. You'll know a tree by its fruit. His fruit was evil from the beginning, so how could it ever be good? But anyways, the Weather Channel says that, and that's where all that controlling stuff comes from. It's from Paul. Like, you know, you gotta, all authorities are, you know, of, you know who, but they're not really of God. They're not of God. I'm not even gonna say that. Not all authorities are of God. No. Like, was the Pharaoh in Egypt of God? No. God had to directly make Moses the real authority to overcome him with real power. That's the real authority, is power, and that's something the devil will never have. He might have all the money and all these haters on his side, all these beta males, all these simps on his side, but numbers are meaningless against God. I can guarantee you that. Like, no, all the fucking earth itself, if you could take it down to the smallest measurable measuring, and if you amplified that by the highest number you can name, that you can compute, it would be like nothing compared to God. It wouldn't even be spittle. It wouldn't even be like taking that one little small measurement and this the whole complete world. Like, and you take that and it's like, compared to him, it'd be nothing. It'd be like that smallest little speck at the best possibility if you multiplied it by infinity itself. That's the kind of power God has. Like, and then even if you were to somehow get up to his power, he would scale up beyond you again because it's preeminence. That's what people don't understand. There's no way you can take things in this realm and compete with God. Like, you would have had to have been elected by God himself to be able to do something like that. It's the only reason I do what I do. And I still know there's a fucking shit ton of difference. Like, it's really, we're just starting to go towards God. That's it. It's an infinite ride forever. And the glory is going forever. It's going to grow forever. That's why the sun is now reaching so far like this. This is impossible on the globe. And it started happening because of the infinity power making the sun reach so far. And especially now that most of this energy is projecting away to the sides and away from Earth. So it's reaching further. Anyways, that's that, man. I mean, you can believe this shit is somehow happening on the globe, like the sun can reach that far, or you can just face reality. Like my uncle, his first reaction was that's impossible, and then once later on he starts trying to come up with excuses and shit, like, oh, it's the equinox. Now I already figured that out, and the equinox is for the winter. not the summer. You don't know what you're even talking about. The summer is called solstice, not the fucking equinox. The equinox is winter. You don't even know what you're talking about. And this guy's their brains, I'm telling you, bro. Like, these people, like, it's impossible to make a globe work, bro. Like, it's a ball. It's a fucking ball, man. You understand? You understand there are no flat surfaces on a ball? Like, the whole thing is curved and constant. So if you can't have a flat surface on a ball, the Anunnaki literally called Eden a flat terrain, aka Earth, and you put Adamu in it. You know, like, they even called it a flat terrain. It's a flat disc, the upturned edge, according to the first guy that ever went to space. It's over, bro. There's no, like, this was literally the day. It was the end of the fucking the fake world. Like, anybody that had any doubts, that was the end of it, bro. Like, it should have been, you know. But you know how people are. They'll carry on. But for me, this is like, let's just put it to rest, man. Y'all can do y'all little prayers or whatever if you want for them. But the globe is finished, bro. And then my uncle still doesn't even understand when I show him that 3D view of the spinning of the counterclockwise and the clockwise of the stars at the equator. He doesn't understand that really happens. He doesn't understand that's not just that, it's the water too. The water does it. The water's above and the water's below. It's called electromagnetic acceleration. It's called gravity. It's the same thing that drags little particles to your old not LCD, but your old you know, those tube TVs, those really big ones that look like a box. But those used to have actual magnetic effect going on with them. If you let any kind of particles go towards them, they'll accelerate them. Just like when you fall, you accelerate to a certain speed based on you know, factors with that. And it's been proven so many ways. Like, you gotta look at that video, man. Like, the guy can literally pull the water because of differences in electromagnetic charge, differences in potential, and it just pulls it right at it, man. But like, people gotta see some of my videos, but like, I've been put some bangers out. You know, I didn't make all these videos. Some of them I got from other places. I always put up something that's interesting instead of that fucking rinse and repeat shit somebody else said that everybody knows already. You know, like, I try and make a collection. That's why, if you're expecting me to keep making videos every single day, I apologize, because like, that's not happening. This is reality. You know, I have things to do in my life. But anyways, that's that. Rest in peace, fake globe. That's the end of your fake ass world. People stepping into the real now. That's what they're talking about. That's what he means by what do you think it means, like, when he rolled it up as a scroll? It's like an impact. It's like the heavens rolled up as a scroll. Like, it's like finished, you know. It's I feel like I wouldn't even be surprised if that's literally just a mind game. Like, because in people's heads, they think it's a ball. But what is it really? Like a scroll. It's really like a fucking scroll. They can roll up. Like, it's the end of this fake ass world, I'm telling you. And I think just because of people's perception being different, that is going to change the world in some drastic ways. Because it's like, people's perception drastically affects the way the world manifests. Because it's kind of like a collective dream that everybody's working around on. Like, the subconscious God that everybody's a part of, that, unlike animals, we can literally change it. The animals are like NPCs, but they're very foundational and very important too. They're part of God as well. We're just a part of the image. It's one big giant image. It's a Sumerian thing made obvious. Like the sky is one god, the waters that were before the world was is another god. The spirit that's on the top of it called Anu, this this god as well. It's what they call the Father, and everything else came from that. All the other ones like the sky, the ground, the earth, everything. Yeah, that's enough talking. I gotta go do some stuff. It's getting pretty late. Yeah, I don't even think I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna have to probably jog over there or something.